Okay, so since I can't have a book reading, I thought that I would try this whole go ahead and make a movie, post it sort of thing that y'all are doing, except, my computer's so ancient that I can't actually do a live stream because it would crash. So I'm going to read a little bit from the newest books. Wrong way, Lyda. Book on. We'll just make it zoom all the way across. Look at that. Unjust Cause. Da-da-da, by Tate Hallaway. Unfortunately, Tate Hallaway is not here to read this, so it's going to be read by Lyda Morehouse, the pseudonym. Alright, so what do we got here? Today we're going to start with a little bit from the beginning because I feel like the beginning's pretty good and might get you excited to buy the book. Please remember to go ahead and buy this book if you'd like to from Wizard Tower Press, which is www.wizardtowerpress.com. Ding! That's your little advertisement. Okay, so, chapter 1. I poked Valentine in the chest. Valentine, we need to talk. The last few nights had been typical of South Dakota in the summer, hot and muggy, so I hadn't worn much to bed. I was tucked under a thin sheet in nothing more than a pair of Val's cast-off bleh. See, it's just like having me in person. I still can't read out loud. Cast-off cotton boxers. The open window let in a meager breeze that smelled faintly of the dusty scent of wheat. Valentine cracked open one eye to look at me. When in human form, he was devastatingly handsome. At least to me. I guess other people saw him differently. Where my gaze lingered on the regal, strong features, others found the sharp lines of his face full of cold, calculating menace. I'd call his gray eyes smoldering, but they used words like penetrating, intense, and predatory. I was pretty sure we'd all agree, though, that he was long and lean and had a wonderfully hard, pale skin, a color reminiscent of moonlight, and a deep midnight black hair. My son would point out at this point that I have a type. Anyway. At the moment, however, I could sort of understand where other people got their impressions. Silken hair disheveled by sleep hid most of his face, except for a singular icy gray eye that stared at me, unblinking, like a lizard's. A growly and deep voice snarled, "Talk? What topic of conversation could possibly be worth disturbing my slumber? You know that thing about sleeping dragons?" Yeah. Anyway, I ignored the menace in his tone. "Do you see anything wrong with me?" "You're awake." After a moment, he added coolly, "and talking." "Exactly," I agreed. "Do you know why I'm awake?" I could tell by the way his lips pressed together that he held back a lot of responses that began, "because you live to irritate me," or some similar insult. Instead, oh my god, I just touched my face, y'all. Instead, he finally blinked and sighed, "Perhaps you'll enlighten me." Sitting up, I showed him the problem. All over my chest, stuck by sweat, were coins. There was a quarter on my shoulder. A dime wedged itself into the hollows between my breast. Pennies covered my arms. Something large, like a Mexican peso or a $50, poked the inside of my thigh. Peeling a nickel off my neck, I held it out to him. "What is all this?" He snatched the nickel from my hand and shoved it under his pillow. "Mine," he said simply. He flopped over onto the other side, turning his back to me like the conversation was over. "I sleep better with it." "Well, I don't," I said, pulling the coins from my body and dropping them onto his head, one by one. My reign of change didn't even make him flinch. In fact, if anything, the soft sound of the coins clinking together lulled him back to sleep. I nudged again. "Seriously, Val, you have a hoarding problem." So that's the beginning of Life with a Dragon. I would read more, except, I suck at readings, and since I don't have to follow anybody's rules about how long I'm supposed to read, I'm just going to stop there with that little teaser. Anyway, I hope you go out and buy it. This is a tough time for authors everywhere, and I understand that you have a lot of authors you want to support, but I hope you will include me in that list of lovely folks. Okay, thanks. Have a good day. Stay safe. Stay well. Don't do what I did. Don't touch your face. I'm going to go wash my hands now. I highly recommend that. Maybe I'll wash my whole face. Maybe bathe entirely in some kind of disinfectant. I don't know. Anyway, take care. Be safe. Buy books.